Well, good morning. It is rather not a beautiful day here on the East Coast. Anybody else getting a little sick and tired of these storms that just seem to be marching through our area every week? Oh my gosh. All I can say is I'm thankful it's not happening on the weekend. We had that pattern a few years back. I don't know how many. I'd have to go back and look, but I know there was one season where it seemed like every weekend we were getting one of these. So I guess it's okay that we're doing this in the middle of the week, because maybe for some of you you're getting an extra day off, and so that's a good thing. But yeah, it looks like we're going to get hammered with some springtime snow. As the weatherman was saying, though, it's not as bad as it could be, because obviously, we're in a warming trend and temperatures will be back up into the 40s and 50s. So we'll get rid of this stuff pretty quick, hopefully. So good morning to my crew that jumps right in here. Leslie, good morning. Jackie and Linda, Jack, good to see you guys. Marie and Emma, good morning. You're a newbie. Haven't seen your name yet, so thank you for jumping in and welcome. Let's see. You love snow. Well, and you're going to love today. And Donna, good morning. So, yeah, apologize for yesterday. We had a funeral to attend in New York on Monday night and didn't get back in till late, so I wasn't about to get up for this. But we're here today and glad to be with you and to continue our journey through the Gospel of Mark. And today we're looking at probably, I think, one of the most foundational passages in each of the Gospels, or the Gospels that have this particular account. And so we'll launch here in verse 27. It says that Jesus went out with his disciples to the villages of Caesarea Philippi. And on the way, he questioned his disciples, saying to them, why do people, or who do, let me get that straight now, right? Who do people say that I am? And they told him, saying, John the Baptist, and others say Elijah, and still others, one of the prophets. And he continued by questioning them, but who do you say that I am? Peter answered and said to him, you are the Christ, or, as he was also known, the Messiah. And Jesus warned them to tell no one about him. And he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and the chief priests and the scribes and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. And he was stating the matter plainly, and Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. But turning around and seeing his disciples, he rebuked Peter and said, get behind me, Satan, for you are not setting your mind on God's interests, but man's. And he summoned the multitude with his disciples and said to them, if anyone wishes to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life shall lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel's shall save it. For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? For what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? For whoever is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, the Son of Man will also be ashamed of him when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. Wow. This is really, like I said, one of the most powerful sections of the gospel message that we've got to come to grips with. And here, the disciples and Jesus are walking along towards Caesarea Philippi. And in some accounts, some historical accounts, not in the Bible, obviously, but other historical references of that time say that this particular road that they were on towards Caesarea Philippi had different kinds of shrines and memorials to, some of the various gods of that era. some of them from Rome, some of them, who knows, from other locations. But someone had just built these different shrines that honored these different gods, which of course we understand are not God at all, but they're, just seemingly demons. But so Jesus, seeing these shrines, was prompted to ask his disciples the question, right? There is no other question, But he starts out in a low-key way, so who do people say that I am? And, they give answers. Elijah, I mean, John the Baptist, that just is kind of a bizarre, John was just killed. How could Jesus be John the Baptist? But that's what evidently some people thought. Others, could say that he was one of the prophets come back to life. So people had their opinions about who Jesus was as he walked on the earth. But then he asks the disciples the important question, who do you say that I am? And, and I forget which of the other gospels brings out the fact that, that Peter, like the Father spoke to Peter, right? And so Peter is the one who blurts out, well, you are the Christ. I think Luke has it, the Son of the living God. And Jesus, of course, acknowledges that he got it right. He talks to Peter and says, your name means stone, and on the rock of your confession of what you just spoke, the truth that you just spoke, I'm building my church. I'm building my ecclesia, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But Peter gets it. He gets that revelation that Jesus is sent by the Father. He is the Son of God. He is the one and only. And Jesus, as we know in John, makes the point that nobody comes to the Father except through me. No one is going to have a relationship with God unless Jesus goes to the cross, unless he dies and sheds his blood and pays the penalty for the sin, for the separation of man that occurred, by the disobedience of Adam and Eve. Nobody gets to have the kind of relationship with the Father that he wanted to have with the human race from the beginning. The very reason why he created each of us, why he created the human race from the beginning. And I've spoken on this on many occasions on this program, because it's the reason why I do this every morning, is because I want people to know that there's a God who is good. He's a Father who is amazing, and he created all of us for the very purpose of having a personal relationship with him, without boundaries, without limits, without anything getting in the way. He wanted that from the beginning. We see that in Genesis, in the Garden of Eden. It talks about him coming to walk with them in the cool of the day. There was something that beat in the heart of the Trinity that said, we want to have a special kind of relationship, a relationship that cannot be had with beings that see us all the time. Because the angels, they saw God, they see God, they see his grandeur, his splendor, his majesty, his power. It's there. They're able to see his fullness at any moment. And so for them to believe in God, well, that's pretty simple. There's nothing to that, because that's what they can do. But for us, think about it. We hear of him. We maybe see some of the things that he does. We experience some of his presence and some of his blessing on our lives, but it's not the same. We don't have the same kind of visual, experiential kind of thing with him that angels do. And so when God created us, he gave us free will. He gave us the ability to choose, and he did so purposely so that we could make a choice. We could say, yeah, you know what? I believe what you say. I believe in you. I believe that you're good. I believe That's a choice. And because of that choice, our love for him means a whole lot more than the love of an angel who doesn't have as much of a choice. Yeah, I know about the devil, I know about Lucifer and the angels that followed him, and they made a choice, right? But they too were deceived by Lucifer. But the point is, it's a different thing. It's a different kind of an experience for us because of the fact that we don't we're not primarily in the spirit realm. Can we be? Yeah, but we're in this physical realm, right? I was sharing with someone very dear to me last night who is in a process of learning how to experience more of God's presence. And the cry of the heart was, yes, but I still want to be able to hold him and have him hold me, and that's a very, very real thing. And can we experience that? Yes. Does it happen 24/7? No. But yet, the fullness, the desire for that kind of relationship with us was in his heart, right? For us to experience as much of him as is possible here in this physical realm, you know. And so he created us for that kind of relationship. And unfortunately, throughout the generations, mankind has taken this potential and covered it over. It's been it's been hidden, it's been marginalized, it's been corrupted by human thinking that says, well, in order for you to have a relationship with God, well, you're going to have to jump through all these hoops. You're going to have to make sure that you obey every little one of these things, these little rules and regulations to the T before he'll even think about accepting you, right? Or even after maybe experience the grace of the gospel. Realizing that Jesus died for you freely and offers a relationship with the Father freely. Even after that, you recognize that and you accept that gift of salvation, grace through faith, and you believe that. You can continue to operate out of a posture of, but I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. I don't do everything perfectly or do it well enough for him to really embrace me, to really love me, to really do, what I would hope him to do for me, would desire for him to do for me. We put all these conditions on an unconditional love. And so we are robbed of what he desired from the beginning. And here in this story, Jesus simply defines it as, do you know who I am? Do you believe who I am? Right? Do you believe that I am the Son of God, that I am the one that came to sacrifice my life for you, one who didn't deserve any of that punishment, any of that death? Do you believe that? That's all it requires to enter into a relationship that gets built on that simple truth. That simple but revolutionary, transformative truth that, yes, Jesus, you are the Son of God. You are the Messiah. You are the Savior, the Christ, the Son of the living God. Yeah, I believe that. That opens the door to the relationship that the Father wanted with you and I from the beginning. Pure, unadulterated, no hindrances, no hoops to jump through. It's just a matter of walking together with him and allowing him to show you how to live, to show you what's good, what's not good, what's right, what's wrong. Because there are those things out there, right? There is right and wrong, there is good and bad, there is wise and foolish, and he wants us to experience life at its best. And the only way to do that is in relationship with the one who created us and created life, who knows what the best life looks like. You see, and that's all he ever wanted. He wanted that in the Garden of Eden, right? He told Adam and Eve, he said, look, you're here. I want you to be fruitful, to multiply, fill the earth, subdue it, and rule. Now, that wasn't meant to be done as a project, as an assignment that they were going to do apart from God. No, he still was going to come and walk with them in the cool of the evening. He was still going to answer their questions and show them how to do things, how to make all that possible, right? That was his heart from the beginning. And so, and nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. He still wants to do that. He still wants to walk with us and show us the dream that he had for you before you were born. You know, again, I go back to Lou Engel's just amazing quote. Now, I don't know if he's the first one that said it, but he's the first one I heard say this. And it is simply, God had a dream and wrapped your body around it. And that's what he's after. He just wants you to see that dream, to begin to live it, to experience it, because he has joy in that pursuit, in that kind of relationship where you walk together and he gets to show you stuff, show you things, truth, show you the amazing things that he had in mind for you from the beginning. And yet it all either happens or doesn't happen on the basis of the choice that we make. How we answer that question, who do you say that I am? And, if you haven't made that decision yet, if you haven't made that or answered that question, do it now. Just say, okay, I'm willing to take a chance on this. So Jesus, I'm going to believe that you are who you say you are, and you did what you said you did, and give God a chance to show you. I was talking to a guy the other day who's a Buddhist, and yet, he says, I believe that Jesus was alive and that he was on this earth, and that I believe there's a God. So he sounds like he's a pretty eclectic Buddhist. And so I challenged him. I said, you know what? I appreciate your pursuit of spiritual things. I think that's awesome. But I'm going to challenge you. Ask God. Just be blunt and say, you know what? Show me that you're real in a way that is undeniable. And I'll say the same to you. If you've never really experienced God or entered into a relationship with him, do that. You got nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. But I can promise you this, that for those who truly desire to know the truth, he moves heaven and earth to get that truth to you, because he wants a relationship with you even more than you do. So with that, we're going to kind of to bring this session to a close, and we'll continue on with the rest of this story tomorrow. But this was really the important part, right? Answer the question and let him show you what he has in store for you, because it's beyond anything that you have ever yet imagined or dreamed of. And that right there is the truth. Wow. Good morning. Who do we have on with us today on this snowy Wednesday morning? Everybody that's home from work today, right? Oh my goodness. Let's see. There's Lisa. Derek, good morning. Hey, Debbie, it's good to see you. It's been a while. Armin, my brother, how are you? My goodness, it's been a while. Hey, Sean, good to see you as well. Cindy, good to see you again. It was good to see you the other night as well. Larry, how are you? Gosh, good to see you. Linda, thank you so much. And look at that, Emma, you're jumping in right at the very end. I'm really sorry, but you can go back and watch the recording. Thank you again. I hope you have a safe day. Stay warm. Hopefully this snow will get out of here quickly and we can get back to all the stuff that we need to do. But hey, until then, have a great day. Oh, almost forgot. Please be a share bear, buddy. Share the video for others on your timeline, so hopefully they'll get a chance to check it out. And if you want to reach out, there's my email, or else send me a Facebook private message. I'd love to share with you on anything that matters to you. So have a great day and look forward to being back tomorrow. Until then, you be blessed.